welcome to the Arts and Humanities session with us, where we'll also be talking about as well our Bachelor of Arts and Sciences today. So for anyone that's interested in that, we are also responding there. So we'll jump right into our session so that we can get to talking to the students. So I'm going to give you a quick overview as much as I can to give you some context to our conversation, and then we will connect to the students that are here on the call. So as a reminder, please make sure to ask questions. We have students and admission staff in the background that are answering questions. So open up the chat, ask any questions you have. We have a team in the background. We also have students that are going to be coming on the call after I'm done speaking. Obviously, they're the most important people you want to talk to and you want to hear from. So I will connect you with them, and we're all going to come on and answer some questions about the experience here within Arts Humanities and our Arts and Sciences program at the University of Guelph. So a little intro, just to introduce who I am. So my name is Rachel. I'm the manager of marketing communications and student recruitment within one of our colleges. So our colleges are essentially faculties or departments where a bunch of programs are housed. So the department I work in is called the College of Arts. I did a degree within psychology, and I did a master's of education and student affairs. So I focused on the first year student transition to university. That was where my research area was. You'll see the photos here. I just recently celebrated my 2-year wedding anniversary, and I'll tell you right now, the cost for photography is quite expensive. So I am showing my husband how often I use my image in my presentations to make the money worth it. But you can also see my husband Sam in the photo, and our little dog, Sophie. So just to give you a little bit of background with who I am, what I'm talking about, why I'm here, and get comfortable as we chat and get to know each other a little bit more, and you get to know the students. So I want to go through this, and you'll notice too, so Joe is spotlighted on here, as well as Harshi. They are 2 students that we'll be talking today. But in this session, we're going to talk about the Bachelor of Arts, the Bachelor of Arts General Degree, the Bachelor of Creative Arts Health and Wellness, as well as the Bachelor of Arts and Sciences. So those are our 4 programs essentially that we'll be discussing within this session. So again, ask all your questions in the chat. We're happy to answer them, or in the Q&A section. We're going to jump into the Bachelor of Arts, specifically the programs that are associated to our college or our department. So you'll have humanities majors. As you'll notice, you'll see a list here, as well as visual and performing arts programs. So note for these, the visual and performing arts programs, there is no audition or no portfolio required for admission to these programs. So it's not like you need to submit anything additional. You don't need to learn more or, come to Canada in advance to submit something or connect with us in any way. We have everything you need. When you apply, you are set to go. But our humanities are about culture. They're about connection. They're about people. It's about history in the past, historical perspectives, how we engage with society and around the world. So these are wonderful programs that you can do in a 4-year Bachelor of Arts degree, which allows you to customize your experience. Then we have our Bachelor of Arts General, which is a 3-year degree program. So maybe you're not entirely sure what major or what area of interest you want to focus in on. This is a degree program you can also apply to. You can do it entirely online. So if you want to stay home and you want to still attain a degree from the University of Guelph, this is an option for you. But you could also come to Canada, come to the University of Guelph, and have that experience of both in-person and online courses, depending on your learning style. If you want to come to the university, want to come to Canada, these are some concentrations that you can choose from. So you cannot concentrate in anything if you are doing it entirely online. You do have to come visit us. But I mean, even just look at my background. I'm not outside, but this is our campus. It's a wonderful experience and a beautiful place to live and go to school. So these are the topic areas that you can focus in on if you wanted to come to Canada, but still unsure of where you want to focus your time. At any point in that 3-year degree program, you can also switch into a 4-year Bachelor of Arts degree. So you can switch into a major and spend your 4 years with us. The difference between a Bachelor of Arts General and a Bachelor of Arts Honors or 4-year degree program is really the credits. So we aren't squishing 4 years of learning into 3 years to make it a general. You are actually taking less credits, so less courses and less requirements. So it would be essentially a year of your degree off, which is about 10 courses in total that would be a part of the general degree versus the 4-year honors degree. But why a Bachelor of Arts? A quick overview is that transferable skills are so incredible and so important to the world of work in which we live in today. The labor market is changing. It's not really common that you work in one place for 40 years and you propel up the ladder. A lot of things are changing within society. Technology is evolving. And with how fast things are moving, we need graduates and people who are ready and prepared for what's to come and can adapt and exchange ideas in that regard. So, for example, I'm the manager of marketing, communications, and student recruitment. I manage all of our social media, our marketing promotions. And 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we weren't training students for how to be social media managers. But today, if you are a business or an organization and you don't have that skill set, or you don't have a social media presence in any regard, it's going to be really challenging for you in today's business. So while we weren't training students back then for these technological advances that are so common to us every day, these are so crucial with regards to the skills you develop. So critical thinking, communication, presentation skills, leadership skills, all of these things are transferable across industries. Our students learn how to adapt and focus on the experience ahead of them and learn and evolve as they go with time. They're not trained in one specific area, which makes them adaptable and mobile to an ever-changing world. The other thing about the Bachelor of Arts and really the University of Guelph is that we care about the world and we care about you. There are so many socially and environmentally conscious courses that you can take and participate in research associated to making the world a better place. And then the flexibility of the Bachelor of Arts in its structure. You can add a major, which is your major area of study, and a minor, which is your secondary area of study, if that you want to, or if you want to. So you can customize your degree, build it to suit you and your interests and what looks and feels important to you, and explore your curiosity. Figure out where your interests lie, try something new, figure out what you don't like just as much as what you do. There's a lot of wonderful things you can learn about yourself while you're in university, because I remember when I was looking at schools when I was 17 years old, I had no idea what I wanted to do. And that's the point. You don't have to know it all. And how we customize our degree for you is based on you as you find out your identity, as you understand yourself and learn more about where your interests are and maybe what you're passionate about. You don't need to know that right now, but we're going to help you get there. In order to do that, we want to ensure that you can get a job at the end of your degree. So you're going to be able to find something afterwards that you feel connected to. You're going to try a learning experience. So while you're here, there's a lot of hands-on learning, whether that be through co-op or experiential learning opportunities. These are courses that are built into the coursework that you're doing. But you could also have part-time employment, anything where you're doing something outside of the classroom. That's experiential learning. That's trying something hands-on and getting a feel for it. Whether you enjoy it or not, it's just as important. When I was going through school, I thought I wanted to go into a certain career pathway. I did a internship experience and realized, oh, this is not for me. I am not passionate about this, even though I had been pushing my entire career towards that direction. And that was a wonderful learning experience for me, because then I got to pivot and I got to try something else before the end of my degree program. And that's what pushed me to where I am today. That's why I work in higher education. I didn't know this was a career pathway that existed until I got here and I got involved. So lots of great hands-on learning that's happening here too. And the career connection. Like I said, career adaptability is really important. We have jobs that exist today that won't exist maybe in 5 years from now. Or we have jobs that haven't even been thought of conceptually because of the value and connection to AI, how things are changing, the adjustment of what's important and what isn't as our value system changes as a society. There's so much that's going forward for us. And so We want to set you up for your future 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, so that you are prepared for whatever is to come, not necessarily having a specific skill that will no longer be needed in 2 years. Or by the time you graduate, we want you to have those skill sets now that can expand across horizons. And so you get to do that here in a Bachelor of Arts degree and a Humanities degree with us. Now we also have our Bachelor of Creative Arts Health and Wellness. This is a really exciting program. This year, this September, was the first cohort of students that joined our program. And so these students chose one of three majors. So music, theater studies, or studio art. And while they're here, they are going to be taking a collection of psychology courses and a collection of CREA courses, which I will explain in just a second. So this degree program is tying the partnership between creative expression and psychological and therapeutic forms of mental health and wellness support. So students that graduate from this program can go on to graduate programs within music therapy, art therapy, drama therapy. You can also go into social work. As a note, this program, this is the first of its kind in Canada. So at this point in time, there are no undergraduate programs of its kind that are accredited to when you graduate, you are a drama, music, or art therapist in this regard, in the way that our Bachelor of Creative Arts Health and Wellness is designed. So you would have to go on to graduate school in order to get that accreditation. But the cool part about this is that we have built this degree program with that in mind. So a normal student who may decide, oh, I really want to go into art therapy, would have to take electives in psychology, would have to figure out what other courses are present in order to get into a graduate program. We've built it into the foundation and the structure of our degree program. So you don't need to worry about those requirements. We've ensured that it is a part of your curricular experience throughout your degree. So connecting that therapeutic experience to the art form that you love the most. And now, again, remember from my beginning slide, you do not need to have a portfolio or an audition to apply to the Bachelor of Arts in Music, Theater, or Studio Art, and you don't need to have it here either. So the admission requirements are the same, but you are entering a different degree program and will have your major, just like any other degree program or Bachelor of Arts degree. And then you're also going to have these elective requirements as a part of it. So we'll dive into what we call CREA courses, those core courses. You'll see we are teaching you the connection between art and health. There's the arts and human behavior. We have research methods. We're connecting it to the Canadian healthcare system. So we are focused, given that we are in Canada, we are focused on that topic. So you can learn about how this happens. And this is something, again, that's unique to us, the first of its kind, a program first of its kind in Canada, that we are offering this. Is if you were going to a program after that, you would be focused on trying to understand the connection yourself, whereas we've built this into the program. So the courses you're taking are designed to teach you the connection between that artistic form that you love so much and the therapeutic approaches and methods that you want to pursue and go into. So that is how this program is structured. And again, really, really exciting. Our first cohort of students are in the program right now. And so we are excited and eager to have our second cohort of students joining us next year in fall 2025. We also have our Bachelor of Arts and Sciences. This program, again, if you'll notice, we like flexibility, we like adaptability, we like programs where you get to customize your degree, but have unique connector points, because we believe in that importance of understanding the world and how we can be flexible and mobile. So the Arts and Sciences degree program is about combining an art and social science with a science program. So say you are looking at a program in the science and you're like, oh, but I really love the arts and I don't entirely want to close that door. Or on the other side of it, you're thinking, but I don't want to close off and not do sciences because I think that's going to be important for my future. I want to have both. You actually get to specialize in one of each in this degree program. And similarly to the Bachelor of Creative Arts, Health and Wellness, we have specific courses. So we call them ASCII courses, where you are learning how to tie those two disciplines together. So you don't have to choose what you want to do right away. You can decide, test try some courses, see what you like. Again, it's really hard to make a decision at such a young age, but you can decide where your passions are, where your interests are, and then you can declare those specializations in your second year once you've had that time to explore. But the ASCII courses, where you bring those together, the cool part is that only these courses are open to Bachelor of Arts and Sciences students. No one else can take these courses, and students are specializing across the board. So you might sit with someone who's in two totally different specializations from you, but is still learning how to connect the two disciplines, which is incredibly powerful, and so neat. And so as you'll notice, areas of focus and things that need both the arts and the sciences when solving complex world problems or social issues, youth homelessness around the world, fertility and reproductive health, deforestation across Canada, climate change, and then therapeutic approaches to mental health. So this is another way that you can enter the therapeutic field or industry. And so here are some examples of what those specializations look like. So we have the art specializations. You'll notice that there are some that are in business as well. We have linguistics. You can pick any of these specializations. A special note as well is that the Family and Child Studies and the Criminal Justice and Public Policy art specialization are only available to Bachelor of Arts and Sciences students. Other students cannot minor in these programs. So this isn't a secondary area of study that other students can access due to demand and the amount of students who are interested in this. They've closed the minors, but as a Bachelor of Arts and Sciences student, you can specialize in this. And then on the other side, you'll pick a science specialization. So you'll take courses on both sides and figure out where your interests lie, what you feel good at, what you enjoy. So a couple combinations for this are, biology and philosophy, and you're going into research ethics, like you're thinking about the ethics associated to the science. You could also do ecology and international development studies, where you're going into environmental policy analysis. The important thing to note is that they don't necessarily have to make sense at the beginning. You figure this out along the way and you utilize the skill sets you're learning. Again, transferable skills are so important. You're essentially looking at problems from outside of the box. You're thinking about things from multiple different perspectives and focusing on how to find solutions to better support the world and the community around you. So our student experience, we're going to get into this with our students, which is the thing I'm most excited for. I try to speed through this as quickly as possible so you get an idea of what we're talking about and who these students are and what programs they're coming from, but I know you want to hear from them. So our student experience is incredible. I mean, you just have to see our campus to know how you can picture yourself walking from class to the UC, our university center where our food is, to Creelman Hall, which is another food location. If you haven't heard from us yet, I'm sure in the intro session they talked about how good the food is. You really have to experience it for yourself. But the community and the environment is so wonderful. These are all photos from student organizations and clubs who hosted events or field courses that our students have participated in. You'll also hear about our cannon, the thing that needs to be painted all the time, and different organizations and groups come in. It's essentially a tradition of the university that you need to paint it at least once. But having the student experience and having that connection to people around you who are just as interested in what you are is the benefit of university, but the University of Guelph. This is something that's so much fun, and the relationships you build are lifelong. So let's hear from our students. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that we can get all the students on the call. So for our students that are with us today, please come join me as we connect and talk about our programs here. So amazing. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Wonderful. So, hello. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I know, again, for us, it's the morning, but for those that are with us, you could be in the afternoon, it could be the evening, anywhere. But you may notice some tired eyes for us. So, this is early for students. So, give us a little bit of grace for that. But we're going to jump into introduction. So if I could get, I'm going to start around the group and we're going to go around and introduce ourselves. So first and foremost, I would love to welcome Joe. Joe has done sessions like this with me for quite some time, and Joe has a really fun story, which we'll get into, but I'd like to connect with Joe first. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Joe. I'm an international student from Dubai and I'm studying English and I'm also in my second year. Um, Fun fact, I've studied Arabic and French for 10 years and even more, and I still can't speak either of those languages.
No, really? Did you have to study that in school?
Yeah, Arabic is a compulsory language to learn. It was really fun. Can't speak or write it anymore. And French is like an elective.
So some practice is still required.
A lot of it.
Yeah. So, and you said you're in English, so you get to focus in on those areas with regards to literature and all the learning. So we'll dive into that a little bit more. But thank you, Joe. So wonderful to have you on the call. I'm going to jump to Karula, who can tell us a little bit about themselves and their experience.
Hi, my name is Karula. I am from South Africa and a second year student in culture and technology studies. I didn't come with a fun fact in my bag ready to go.
That's, I don't mean to add the stress. Just know it is okay. We are gonna hang out. We're gonna bond. Things will come out. So yeah, no worries. No fun facts required. Okay, let's jump over to Harshdeep. Harshdeep, can you tell us about yourself?
Absolutely. So I'm Harshdeep. Nice to meet you all. Um, I'm in my fourth year of the Bachelor of Arts and Sciences program. And so my specializations are sociology and geomatics. And a fun fact about me is I'm actually from Guelph, but I'm excited to be here today.
Amazing. Thank you. And then can I jump to Manny? Manny, can you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Manny. I'm a third year studio art major. I'm from a small town called Flesherton, north of Guelph. And a fun fact about me is I live on a farm back home.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. Look, I'm learning so many new things too. This is awesome. Okay, and Erin, introduce yourself. Oh, you're muted. It has to happen at least
Hi,
once. So thank you for
my
taking
name
the
is
lead on
Aaron.
that.
I'm from Toronto. Um, I'm in the Bachelor of Arts and Science program. My minors are sociology, biology, and then I actually added a third minor, criminal justice and public policy. It's an option for you to take three minors if you wanted to in the art and
So
science program, or three specializations.
exactly. Well, that just means that Aaron, you are very, very organized and you've got it planned out, and that is incredible. So
Yes.
we have a lot to learn from you. That's essentially a big piece of that. So let's jump in again a little bit more. Let's dive into why you chose the University of Guelph, why you chose Canada as an area of destination for our two international students, and get into why you love Guelph. Again, obviously we're all a little biased, so take that with a grain of salt. We enjoy why we're here, which is why we're chatting about the programs. But Karula, do you want to tell us a little bit about your experience and why you chose the University of Guelph?
Yeah, sure. So partly is that I have dual citizenship, so my mom is Canadian, so that sort of narrowed the globe significantly for me. So I think coming here country-wise seemed like a really sensible thing to do. As for choosing Guelph, I don't know what your experience is, Joe, or any of the international students who have found Guelph, but I feel like Canadians have a really good, like all have really good reasons. And I looked at the Maclean's book. Is it Maclean's or Maclean's?
Yeah, Maclean's. Yeah.
yeah, and Guelph came up and I think matched so many of the things that were really important to me for coming to school. So I think through looking at that, first of all, it had the Bachelor of Arts and Science, which is how I came in, not really knowing what I wanted to do, and that flexibility, as you said, was really a huge draw for me. I'm not in arts and sciences anymore because I love culture and technology studies so much. So that was part of it, and then just sort of from research, I saw that Guelph had a huge community vibe, which was really important to me, and seemed to have like all of these support systems, and the food was also a big one. And all of those are true. I do think Guelph's food is really good. And I also feel so grateful, especially I think as an international student, to have come to a place where there is just sort of a huge kind of network for academia and even extracurricularly to support you and your journey at Guelph.
Oh, I love that. See, I love the story of trying something, realizing, oh, I think I'm actually interested in something else, and then switching into that and that being okay. That's a really big part of our learning. How do you know what you want to do at 17 years old for the rest of your life? You have to try things out, you have to experience things. And who would have known that culture and technology, something technology studies would have been the thing until you test it and tried it and experienced it and then said, yes, I'm obsessed with this. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now let's jump to Joe. Joe, tell us about your experience. Why Guelph?
Well, I have an interesting story about this. So, if you guys didn't know, Dubai is a desert. Snow is not something we get at all, unless you're up in the mountains, which I'm not. And so, when I was going through all my researching, trying to find places to study, Canada really stood out because I wanted snow. I wanted to feel snow so bad. I felt fake snow was very disappointing. And so when I saw Canada as one of my options, I pretty much just narrowed down on it. Didn't really consider any other country. And then I came here, felt snow, and I never want to leave now. Like it was a no-brainer. I love it. Even though I get sick a lot. I still love it. Um
Yeah, poor Joe, feeling got a little bit of a cold today. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and that. But that's my favorite story because for us Canadians, some of us are obsessed with snow. Others, take it or leave it. It can get a little bit cold, and you bundle up and you have that experience. And Joe, you joined us in January, correct?
yes. So if
So we were
I
in the
I
midst of
really got it. Yeah. I came in, I landed, got out of the airport, and I was like, this is what I was looking for. It is freezing. I love it.
Were you prepared? Did you have all the gear in place at that point, or were you?
Um, let's just say I got sick 2 days into coming here, so no,
No. So
no,
too much of a good thing is what you're
too
saying.
much. You live and you learn, no?
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. We'll come back to everyone. So, Manny, can you tell us a little bit about why you chose University of Guelph and the studio art program?
Yeah, sure. So I chose Guelph because initially I was planning on going to another school for photography specifically, but I
Mhm.
felt that Guelph gave me the best opportunity to kind of experiment with other mediums and get a feel for what exactly I wanted to focus on, rather than just being kind of stuck in one box. If I didn't end up liking it in the future. So I felt that Guelph gave me that best opportunity.
Yeah. I love that. And so I mean, the spaces that you get to work in are really, really cool on campus. And we should have known that it should have been Zavitz, the building you're in the most, maybe, as your background for today. Really cool, really cool spots. But thank you for that. And so then our Bachelor of Arts and Sciences folks, Erin, tell us a little bit about why you chose Guelph.
I chose Guelph because I really like the art and science program really appealed to me. I really enjoy it. Like having both the arts and the science. I did
Mhm.
not want to choose one. That's why I chose the program. I was really set on the program at Guelph actually. And I really enjoy having both, having the mix. It keeps my options open. It doesn't I don't have a focused like set of classes I take. I have a mix of classes. So I'm
Mhm.
not too stressed worrying about, a lot of tests and exams with science, and I'm not worried about writing a lot of papers with arts. It's really good balance. Um, yeah, I really like Guelph. The campus is amazing. The campus is so nice. People are so nice. The environment's great. The food's great. Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Again, we're a biased folk here because we love the space. We love the campus environment. So yeah, that feeling of not wanting to miss out on one area or
Yeah.
another. I think that's a tie that all Bachelor of Arts and Sciences students have, is that they want a mixture of both. They maybe have a passion for the arts, that connection where they get to be creative and thoughtful, and then they also have the science aspect where they get to have those hard sciences and those connections to where being in a lab potentially for those that get excited by that. So again, 3 specializations. Kudos to you. Did you choose those specializations? Did you know coming in that's exactly what you wanted to do, or did you try out different things and then kind of make a decision?
So I started with sociology and biology. I knew that I would want to do bio because I always liked bio as my science throughout high school, and that was what I was set on. And then sociology appealed to me in high school and I was deciding between maybe a sociology or another arts, and then I ended up liking sociology, and then I was like, oh, I can add a third one. I'm like,
Mm.
criminal justice and public policy. I like it, so I decided on that one. I'm like, great.
Cool. Well, kudos to you again. I look forward to hearing all the great learning that you go through with all of those 3 specializations. Harshdeep, let's connect with you. Tell us a little bit about your journey in arts and sciences.
Absolutely. So my journey is very similar to Erin, I must say. When I was applying in grade 12, it was during that weird COVID situation we were having here in Canada. So I didn't have access to attending fairs and such, but I really was intrigued by the arts and sciences program. I found it very much so. It fit the sort of criteria I was looking for. I liked how, like Erin said, you get to learn both the arts and the sciences. I just remember in high school, I really enjoyed all the sorts of um, subjects I would take from computer science, but I also really enjoyed taking French and so on and so forth. So the arts and sciences was like a really good fit for me. Um, and the best thing about it, I would say, is like it's really easy to, because you're taking so many different courses, it's really easy to um, declare your specializations and change them if need be. They're very flexible in that regard. So I really, I started out as history and biology, and then I found out that I really liked sociology and geomatics. Um, so it was really easy to switch over. Yeah.
Amazing. So yeah, trying different things, realizing what you like, what you don't, or what you maybe like a little bit more than something else. If you haven't guessed it, this is an area or a place where you get to test try different things, and you get to explore and follow your curiosity and see what you enjoy. For me, in my degree program, I liked psychology and ended up staying with it the whole time. But my career path and my decisions about what I wanted to do changed as I got involved, and that's okay too. So you don't have to stay in the thing that you thought you wanted. You get to try things, see what you like more, but you might fall in love with something and say, yes, I made the right decision, and I'm going to stay here. Everything is right, and we want that for you, because at 17, you can't make these decisions without exploration. It's huge. And so in the arts and humanities and our Bachelor of Arts and Sciences program, that is built into it. We want you to explore. We want you to learn more about yourself and your identity, because those are huge elements to who you will become in the future. And there's so much that you can learn here at university. Okay, I'm going to open up some questions. So not everyone needs to answer them. And if you're, align with what someone's saying, like head nods and like, yeah, I'm with that too. We're going to talk a little bit about the transition to university. So Tell me a little bit, what was that transition to university like? You know, you're leaving high school or secondary school, or potentially your home country, and then moving to a new place, starting fresh. Even if you're a domestic student, you know, moving to a place on your own potentially, or just adjusting to the workload, the course experience. There is, I'm sure, and from my own memory, an adjustment to the academic expectations. But what was that like? So, is there anyone that would like to kind of go first that want to share a little bit about that transition to university? Amazing. Yes, we're doing the hands feature. Thank you so much. Yes, Joe, you go first.
Awesome. So, yeah, I had to uproot myself from home, fly 14 hours and get here. So, a huge distance,
Yeah.
physically and literally. But one thing that was really hard for me to adjust when I came here was kind of homesickness a little bit because I'm Indian, and so this is like a cultural thing. The women in my family don't really leave home unless you're married, unless you get a job elsewhere, pretty much when you're a lot older than 18.
Mm.
And so when I came to Canada, it kind of hit me all at once like, oh, when I wake up, my mom is not going to have breakfast ready, or I'm not
Ah.
going to like know where everything is. I'm not gonna like know the area around me. I'm gonna have to like start new and learn everything from scratch. And one thing I didn't consider before I moved here was finances. So like opening up a bank account, figuring out which bank would work for me with the benefits that they have, opening a savings account, a credit card, very scary big words. Um, but it did help that once upon a time I considered going into accounting. And so I did have a few, little life hacks under my belt. So that definitely helped. But yeah, just the adjustment from living at home with my family, being in a place where I'm familiar with it, know the place like the back of my hand. I still wanted or craved independence and kind of figured things out for myself. And so I chose the farthest country I could, and I did it all by myself.
That is incredible. Again, Joe and I worked together for a little bit. What was that transition like? I remember when we met, you were first moving into your own place and you
Yeah.
were getting roommates for the first time. What was that like?
Oh, it was terrifying. Thankfully, my roommates are amazing. Love them. They're my friends. We were friends first. But I still live in that house that I initially moved in. It feels different. It feels amazing. You know, waking up in the morning and going to the kitchen and seeing my other two roommates just as exhausted as me. And it's kind of like we've all become so close. And one of my roommates is not an art student, he's an agriculture student. And
Mhm.
so I learn things about the OAC, and he learns things about the arts department. So it's just, it's different from living with family, but I like it. So I'm not completely alone. I have people I can rely on, and it definitely helped.
Yeah, so that experience of doing it all on your own, but also expanding your worldview and your perspective. Like you now get this whole other experience that maybe you weren't anticipating. But good
Yeah.
too. Opening a bank account is terrifying to begin with, and I'm an adult, and I can only imagine what that was like going from one country to the other. So kudos to you. I
You.
again, not to say that everyone probably had to do that to some regard, but doing that on your own without a community or a parent or a guardian, you know, walking you to
Yeah.
a teller and saying, this is what I need. And, you know, that's a huge thing. So
Yeah.
it looks like you're thriving, although again, enjoying the snow maybe a little too much. I woke up with frost outside this morning where I am. So you can see us all
Yeah.
at our spots. So it's coming. So
It is.
it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
uh, Karula, can you tell us a little bit about your transition, moving from South Africa and coming here? What was that experience like?
Yeah, for sure. It was like Surprising. I've been to Canada, like I'd been to Canada a few times before to visit my family on my mom's side. And some of them are in Toronto, so big city, energy. And then some of them are in a small town in Northern Ontario called Thunder Bay. And for some reason, I'd imagined that all of Canada was like Toronto. But then I realized that actually so much of Canada is like Thunder Bay, like a lot of small, yeah, like a lot of sort of smaller towns. I think that most of the world isn't a city. That was my yeah, so I think I was mostly surprised at the amount of culture shock that I felt.
Mm.
And it was kind of a new way to relate to home, I feel, more than anything else. Like I had I mean you always identify with your home in a very like, but you live there. I don't know. It's not like your whole identity is wrapped up in being at home. And then I think like leaving to somewhere so far away and realizing that like, yeah, but like leaving somewhere so far away, you sort of like I felt all of these ways. I think kind of like Joe, like where I was suddenly so independent, and doing things that I just didn't do. Like I realized I'm actually quite neat. Like I just feel like it's not something, like my parents would always have to tell me like clean my room. But then I realized actually, I hate my room dirty. That's so unappealing to me. And I do know how to feed myself, and I definitely cook like a student, but I will have like sweet potato with Greek yogurt for the protein. So I have this, I'm eating balanced still. So all of these ways that
Oh,
my parents had really, I feel like, socialized me, and you aren't asked to test, you end up like really, really far, and you can do all of those things. Um, and then even like in this like whole different cultural space, I think you also, or for me, like I just realized all the ways that like home is inside me anyway, like through like my parents, and all these things that I was learning. um but yeah, just the way that I move here in Guelph, and I think that also helped me connect to like a lot of other international students, which was nice. Yeah, I feel like you connect to your home in a very different way when you're far
mm.
away, which is
Yeah.
like a feeling. So yeah.
Yeah. And you got to spend the whole summer at home this
Yeah.
past summer. And so get that experience of reconnecting to home and culture and your lived experience, and then come back to being here. And again, probably different, probably like that reintegration piece that ends up happening multiple times throughout your degree program.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I actually got to spend 9 months because I was a co-op student. So I got my co-op to be back at home in South Africa, which was
Oh,
really special. And then
oh,
I
I love
stayed for the
that.
summer holidays. And so I spent all of that time at home. And I think that was also really great because I think that something about leaving home that maybe some people start to fear is that they'll lose it.
Mm.
And it just doesn't happen. Like, I mean, I was only gone for 2 years, but it felt like long. But yeah, I think you totally do feel the rerouting in a really different way, and then you bring that back with you when
Oh,
you.
I love that you did co-op. So that's something to note as well. Our Culture and Technology Studies program and our History program both have co-op. So that's awesome. I actually didn't know that. I feel like we
Oh
need to,
yeah.
you can tell me all about your co-op experience. I want to ask a couple last questions. So if anyone has anything that they really want to, get across with the group, like, what's been your favorite experience thus far as a student at the university? What have you, again, it could be transition. What was the thing that took the most to learn and adjust to? Like, what was that like for you? What is it like walking on campus and experiencing that thing? Maybe you have a favorite place you always study. What's that message you want to share with the group? Does anyone have any ideas, something that comes to mind now that they'd want to jump in? Again, this is one of those moments where you go, anyone want to there? Oh, yeah, go for it. Tell us.
Yeah, I really think that building community has been huge
Mm.
for me here. I think, like some people in Guelph come with their friends. Many people don't. Like it's new for many people. And I think really the thing that has brought me to love being here has been all the ways that I've engaged with community, like international community, but I also work for student experience to help support the student experience through like a mentorship program for racialized students, um, and through my program, which you use the word obsessed, and it's true, I'm obsessed with, and I'm on the student committee for that. And there are just so many ways in Guelph to build like yeah to build community and like your own home. um,
Yeah.
been huge for me. So
Yeah, I know. I love the passion you have when you talk about culture and technology studies, like the excitement that's in your eyes, like sparkle. So obsessed is like the perfect word. Is anyone else involved in something? What club or association or, thing have you volunteered with? Yeah, Joe, and then we'll see if anyone else wants to join in. Joe, go for it.
All right, so I am in the English Student Society. Uh, if you can tell, because I'm an English major. I didn't know anything about it. I just came across a poster in our university center when I first came here, and I was so nervous, so terrified, but I walked in, and a semester later, I joined the executive team. And now I help out with events. I plan all our events. I do forms, all the boring stuff, so people can enjoy the fun stuff.
It's
But
an important part of the event planning process.
it
People don't
is.
know that it's important.
It is. I need the credit. But the best part was I met my roommates through the English Student Society, and I met a lot of friends that I'm still close with now. There are a lot of classes that I didn't consider taking until I talked to people. It is, like Karula said, it's so easy to form a community here. Like you can walk across campus, and by the time you get to your class, you would have talked to someone at least once or twice. It's great.
Love
Everyone's
that.
so friendly.
I love seeing all of you on campus. That's my favorite when I run into each and every one of you. Oh, Manny, did you have your hand up too? I feel like you're involved in a lot, and also I think you have a new position. Is that what I'm hearing? I think it starts with a butterfly. Is it something along those lines? I'll let you talk.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that aside from being a student ambassador, I'm also working for a fashion magazine that we have on campus called Monarch Magazine. I'm currently the vice president of photography for that, and it's
Love
been a
that.
blast.
Oh, I
But
love that.
yeah, like I think a word of advice I give to students coming in is like just try to get involved in as many things as you can because
Mm.
I'll be honest, like my time here has gone by very quickly, and something that I'd wish I'd done in first year and second year as well is like um, done more things like this and got involved in clubs and stuff. So I think doing that, you get a better sense of the school and like you get to meet more people and stuff. So definitely get involved in as many things as you can.
Yeah, and we were talking as a group before this about, working part-time. Like school is expensive. Like let's be real. You need to pay for school, pay for living on your own. Maybe parents or guardians are supporting you. Maybe you're doing it on your own. Like there's a lot that goes into that. So as a note, some of the students here work for me. They're part-time student ambassadors, and others. I know, Erin, you're a peer helper or your support with that program. There's so many different things you do. Tell me a little bit about that part-time experience, and then we're gonna jump off and kind of let everyone head off to their next sessions. But what's it like working part-time and being a student?
Yeah, I mean, working part-time while you're in school can be difficult. It's really like about managing your time and getting your
Mhm.
schedule together. You know, some days it can be a lot, but I find it great. I love my job. I love what I do. I've done it for a little while now. Um, I work just like an office assistant job, but I really enjoy it. And yeah, and then also I am volunteering for Bachelor of Art and Science Student Association along with Ella
Mm, yeah.
as a mentor. And yeah, it's been great. I recently got involved. I've been thinking about getting involved for a bit, and then it kind of just like I got an email and I was like, this sounds great. And yeah, it's really good. I've been meeting a lot of people, other mentors, other people that are a part of the student association for art and science program. And
Yeah.
it's been really great. Yeah. Everyone's so
Yeah.
nice. Ella's so great. She runs the mentor program amazing.
Oh, Ella is one of our other student staff on the call, who's kind of answering questions in the background. Callie, you've been managing the chat. Is there anything coming up in the chat?
Yeah, we just had a couple of questions about class sizes and how first year class sizes really changes to fourth year class sizes and that transition to those smaller classes and what that looks like in your different degree programs. So I just wanted to hear what y'all's experience were with that.
I'm gonna jump in and answer that a little bit because I do know that there are other sessions that folks need to get to. So in first year, I would say, and again, group nod with me if I'm on point. If there's something that I'm saying, you're like, no, this is different for me. Please, like, be honest. First year is a lot more general. So I think the first year experience is a little bit bigger in size, and so you are taking electives. You're trying different courses. A lot of students are just figuring out where their interests are, and then as you move up into your upper years, class sizes get smaller. Because there's more integrated discussion, maybe smaller lab sizes, depending on if you're in those science programs, more niched topics or concepts that you're learning about or focused in on. So the courses may be bigger in first year, a little bit more general, and then the opportunity for interest area or topic interest becomes a lot wider and then more focused and specialized in your upper years. So you get to build those relationships and connections with faculty, but also building relationships with each other. That's something that, back to that community piece of go talk to your professor, go talk to the student in your class, go talk to, or, read your email and see what opportunities. I sent an email out and Joe, I was like, Joe, is there anyone there that would like to, hang out with me and talk about our programs? And Joe responded right away. And then Karula has a really great relationship with her faculty, her professors. And when I asked, is there anyone that's interested in this? Her professors said no one else, just Karula, in just this regard, because she's so invested and so involved. And so get to know the people that you work with every day, whether it be in classes, get involved, build relationships, because those experiences are going to propel you into situations like this. Like you're all sitting in this session or this situation because you took initiative in some capacity to have an experience, and that led you to this session and this experience because someone recommended you or you said, hi, I want to be here, and that opened up the door. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us. I'm going to quickly jump back into my presentation just to talk about some international student supports. But thank you all so much. We will hang out a little bit. I appreciate you all, and stay on the call, but we'll see you in a second. So let me reshare my screen here. Gotta make sure, give me a second while I orient myself. So one moment. This is the moment where you get to see the tech glitches, this is the behind the scenes. This is how the magic is created. So I'm going to present here. There we go. Amazing. Look at, I'm back. So some international student support pieces for you to know of and be involved in or aware of. Start International is a fantastic resource for you if you're thinking about the University of Guelph and you want to, make sure you're not doing this alone and that you've got a community. We have a whole student experience support team that's here to ensure that you have all the information you need, helping with immigration information, healthcare, those financial management tips that Joe was speaking to. We have a dedicated resource team that's there to do that and help you out. We also have international student support. So yes, you're transitioning to university, but what about the next 3, 4, 5 years that you choose to be with us? I did a 5-year program, so that's why I always include 5 in the conversation. But there are year-round supports. There are events that are happening. You know, we have international student advisors that are dedicated resources to ensure your success. At the end of the day, having people that are hired to support you and be a part of this community and help you thrive here is what we love to do, and they've made it their life's mission. So we want to ensure that you have that community when you arrive, but also a little bit of it is self-initiative, like we were talking about. It's saying, hi, I want to be a part of this thing. Yes, I want to take on this. And it's attending events, it's going to workshops, it's meeting different people. But ultimately, at the end of the day, connect with us. Our international admissions team has been feverishly responding to things in the background, answering questions. You can always connect, whether you want to go to our website, you want to chat with some international students, you can go to the international chat, meet with someone one-on-one, go to our social. Please follow and connect. It's overwhelming. There's a lot on your plate. Just know that regardless of what institution you go to, you have the world at your fingertips. Choose an institution where you feel connected, where maybe you have your fit. You know, every institution is going to have a phenomenal degree program or area of interest for you. You know, we're universities across the globe. We are known for academics. You are going to get a degree at the end of your 3, 4, or 5 years with us, but you need to choose a school where you feel most connected. You can picture yourself walking on campus. So go to virtual tours, look at pictures online if you can't visit those schools in advance. I can tell you right now, you're going to be obsessed with our campus. It is a really beautiful spot, especially in the fall. But we hope you the best of success as you make this incredibly big decision, but just know that you have so many supports with you throughout this entire journey. And so I hope you have a wonderful rest of your experience with us. And so again, we'll say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And thank you so much for being with us. If you have any other further questions, you can always connect with our admissions team, or you can email us. So our arts email, it's artsinfo@uoguelph.ca. I think I saw it a couple times come up in the chat. So email us directly. Anyone on this call can respond to you. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your event with us.